If you ever thought about, if you are thinking about moving to anywheres in South Florida, this is a video for you. This is your ultimate guide to moving to South Florida. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Realty. Welcome. If this is your first time to our channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button there over in the corner. While you're at it, ring that bell. What that'll do is that'll notify you each time we put out a new video. We put out new videos every single week. We've helped so many families relocate to Florida, and we absolutely love it. So I want you guys to use this as your checklist if you're moving to anywheres in Florida. Several years ago, my family and I knew we wanted to move to Florida. We looked everywhere. We started on the west coast of Florida. We started in a place called Clearwater, Florida. We looked at Vero Beach. We looked at Orlando. We decided on Southeast Florida. We decided on Palm Beach. It is a process. This video, I'm going to walk you through the process. I want you to sort of learn from some of my mistakes. I want you, we are a relocation company. We help people relocate here. So we've seen a lot of issues. We can help you with some shortcuts when it comes to moving here to South Florida. What we want to do is have you avoid making massive mistakes. If you pick the wrong area, if you pick the wrong community, that's a mistake that can be corrected, but it can cost you money and it can take years to fix that kind of a mistake. First thing I tell people is in the early stages, you really need to know your area. Like I was saying, when we moved down here, we looked all over the place. Once you decide that South Florida, if you decide that South Florida is right for you guys and your family, that's a big area. From the Tri-County area, which is Miami-Dade, Broward County, and Palm Beach, you're looking at a large area. There's like 5 million people that live in that area. And all three of those counties are very different, even within Palm Beach, quite frankly. One great way to prepare yourself before your trip and before you want to explore on the different parts, which there's nothing better than doing it in person. But one of the best things to do is look at some of the vlogs. Look at our channel, Living in Palm Beach, Florida. We have vlogs on very different areas. Watch them. I've got playlists. Living in Miami. I've got living in Palm Beach. I got living in West Palm Beach, living in Palm Beach Gardens. I mean, look at these playlists. They will show you the different areas, and that is good preparation if you're thinking about moving to South Florida. Your next step is to narrow down those cities. You've looked at all the videos, and you have a little bit of a sense of what makes sense for your family, whether it's rural, whether it's city-like. There is everything here in South Florida. So your next step at that point is to narrow down your cities, because you want to make your trip to Florida productive. So we have a system here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida. We have a system we call hotspots, which we find helpful, which our clients find helpful. The way we use them is, if you're coming down here and it's your preliminary visit, you are not going to be looking at houses. That's not the way it works, unless you really have a good idea on if your timeline is short, then it is. But if you're like a year out or more time out and you just want to look at the area, use our hotspots. We've developed these PDFs, these things to look at. It will tell you what some of the areas that people go to. It will tell you some of the neighborhoods, some of the highlights of that particular area. Reach out to our team, and we'll happily send you those hotspots. Just let us know what you're thinking, and when we'll send you the hotspots that will apply accordingly. One of the things I need to say, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, if you're down here, do not go into a new construction. My recommendation is do not go into a new construction sales center on your own. The salespeople there, they work for the builder, and they have the builder perfectly in mind. That's their first objective. If there's inventory in that market that is in the secondary market, they will not tell you about it. Here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida, we don't care if you're buying from the builder or from an existing home. We're here to help you. It's one of the benefits to working with a team like ours here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida. One of the things people find helpful is to look at things from a map. So let's go look at Southeast Florida from a map. So here is Southeast Florida. I am going to zoom out so we know what we're talking about. So this is a big state. Pensacola to Miami, that's like a 9-hour ride. It's a big area. So as you can tell, you can sort of see the population. A lot of the population lives along here in this Tri-County area. I did a video recently. We are seeing a lot of population moving out of this area up into this area. A lot of people moving to Florida in general. 1,000 people are moving to Florida a day today. So Palm Beach is like sort of a perfect storm because we have a lot of people coming into Florida, and they got a lot of people coming from Miami and Fort Lauderdale up to Palm Beach. So that's more on that later. But that Palm Beach is sort of experiencing the perfect storm when it comes to relocation here into the area. So we do relocations all over the state, actually all over the country, but a lot of people use us for the state. If you're coming in and you're looking at this area, this is the area that we handle personally. All the way up here to Port St. Lucie, we are seeing more and more people move there because the pricing there is lower. There is a ton of new construction up there. And on the south side, we go all the way down to Miami. So this is sort of our territory. We do relocations other places. So if you're moving to Fort Myers, we have realtors in our group that I would use help. If there's a realtor not in our group, let me talk about this a little bit more in depth. If there's a realtor that is not in our group, I will help vet them. It's one of the things we do. We've helped people around the whole state. We've helped people move to Naples, Sarasota, Pensacola. We help people in other states as well. I mean, yes, we do focus on our area here, but if you're moving to an area and you don't know a realtor, we can help vet that realtor. So if you're moving to Oshkosh, United States, I will find that realtor. I will interview them personally and put you in the hands, and you can then do your due diligence afterwards. So that's one of the jobs that we do here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida. So there's a couple of things I want to talk about. I'll start right here. This is an unusual place to start, but I'll do it anyway. The environment here in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale is very different. There's a lot of condos there. There aren't as many. To get single family homes in these areas, you have to move accordingly, like this area, Pembroke Pines, Doral, Miami, Doral. So years ago when this area was first developing, this was first built up, and then people started moving out here. Up in Broward County, which is right about here, is the borderline. Coral Springs, and that they got developed. Out this way is a town called, so you can find it, Weston, which is the equivalent of what we have here in Palm Beach called Westlake. More on that later. But for the most part, the area, this is where you find your single family homes. If you buy in here in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, lots of times these are high rise condo buildings. And also one other thing I wanted to mention about that. Lots of times when you're looking in Miami and you're looking at Fort Lauderdale, yes, there are condos, but there are a lot of the buildings that you see there are rental buildings. So we recently we're visiting with a builder in Fort Lauderdale, 6th and Rio, which is a great building. I love that building. If you're into a condo in the Fort Lauderdale area, reach out to our team. I'd love to show you what that's about, because that is right next to an area called Las Olas, which is a really walkable area, high end, but not the really ultra high price. If you're into boating, it's also a nice area for that. But when doing this presentation, one of the things that struck me is when you look at Fort Lauderdale, it is the buildings there. There aren't that many condos. A lot of those buildings are in fact rentals. So if I look at Miami here, a lot of people, these are where the single family homes are. We've done some business down here in Hialeah, and one of the things I found about Hialeah is people don't move there. People don't move away from there. People love it there. Most of the people that live in Hialeah stay there. It's a very Spanish area. You walk around and you would think Spanish is the first language. Very high density of Cuban people that live there, and they're very proud to live in Hialeah. The building department, we've had some instances with the building department where they're very strict on a lot of stuff. But that's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why you want to work with a realtor if you're navigating a move down here, because there's a lot of nuances with all these different areas, and we've seen it all. Whether it's Hialeah or Boca Raton or West Palm Beach, That's one of the things that we help you navigate through when it comes to relocating to South Florida. Okay, I'm going to go to the area where we're seeing a lot of the business. As I mentioned, a lot of people are moving from Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and other places of the country into the Palm Beach area. And Palm Beach is 1.5 million people. It's a big population. It is very diverse too. It's the southern part of Palm Beach is very, very urban. You have Boca Raton and Delray Beach. Delray Beach is one of the only cities that has a downtown right on the beach. Beautiful beach. One of my favorite places to watch the sunrise, which is, as you know, if you've seen this channel, one of my favorite things to do. Boca Raton is really busy. 3 sections. You have I call it 3 sections. Nothing official about that, but you have downtown all the way to the east. A lot of activity, a lot of restaurants, a lot of things going on there. You got the middle part of Boca Raton, which is where the Boca Town Center Mall is, high-end mall. And the funny thing about Boca is the people who live in Boca, it's funny, they don't go north. they go from Boca Raton to Miami. You will almost never find one of the secrets. You almost never find people from Boca going into Palm Beach Gardens. It's sort of weird how that happens, but I run into people that live in Boca that have never been to Palm Beach Gardens, which is literally only like 35 miles north of them, which is sort of funny. And then the western part of Boca Raton is very suburban, I would say. Lots of communities, a lot of which were then master plan communities, and it's not rural, but I would say it's very, very suburban. So here's what I'm talking about when it comes to Boca Raton. You can see here, this is like Mission Bay is like the start of the area that's really west. Boca Town Center Mall is right around here somewhere. Right in here. Yeah, power line. It's going to be right in here, right in this area. And then out here is the ocean and whatnot, and the downtown area. The beach is here. You get to the beach off Palmetto Park Road. That's the most popular beach out in that area. Also here, we got one of the popular public universities here. It's called Florida Atlantic University. A lot of people call it FAU. It used to not even be on the map. In recent years, it's that they've actually been really good. They put a lot of money into their sporting programs, and they've been ranked in a lot of different sports, football, basketball, and so forth. So it's become a real big university. People in the area actually do commute there as well, which is one of the benefits when moving to our area. You can commute to this university. I think a good decent portion of the people that go to this school actually do live outside of campus. I have to say this. Many years ago, my family and I relocated this area, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find honored to help people, perhaps like you, relocate this beautiful part of the world we call Florida. If you are thinking about moving to this part of the area and you want advice from people who have actually done it before, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. Also in the description and the comment section, there's a link. Click on that link. That'll take you directly to our calendar. Those are 2 of the best ways to connect with us, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating to here in Florida. So where are people moving? That's probably a question on your mind. So as I mentioned, a lot of them are moving from the south north. Where are they moving here? Boca is still pretty. When we first moved here, we looked at Boca. We felt it was a little bit older. When I mean older houses. There is one, I'll get to that later, one really nice master plan community that's coming up there, that Lotus Palm, that you got to really check out. If you're looking at new constructions, one of the best, a little bit on the pricier side, but on the pricey side topic, that was what we felt we wanted a little bit more home for the money. So we decided to look a little bit further north, and we actually are seeing more business within Palm Beach. We are seeing more business more so to the north than to the south. So when I say the north, I mean Jupiter to West Palm Beach is what we call North Palm Beach, the northern part of Palm Beach. We are seeing more business in that area than we're seeing the southern part, which is West Palm Beach to Boca Raton. 2 of the most asked about places that we get calls from and whatnot, and we do a lot of business in both areas. I'll start with the second one, number 2 on the list. Number 2 on the list is Wellington, Florida. Wellington, Florida is one of the original Western communities in Palm Beach. Wellington, Florida is the equestrian capital of the world. In the winter, equestrian capital of the world. So a lot of people there, the population of Wellington swells when polo season starts, because polo is a big sport out in Wellington. And the season is from January through April. If you've seen some of my videos, I talk about how the population gets a lot larger here in Florida during the winter months. In fact, if you look at the little sliver of Palm Beach Island, that little area is about 9,000 people. In the wintertime, it grows to 27,000 people. That is the most pronounced when it comes to population growth during the season. But as a whole, it happens everywhere. Wellington, it happens a lot for the polo season. And what ends up happening there is that you get a lot of people that come from the polo season. Rents go up for that. But one of the attractions of Wellington is their schools are considered A-rated schools. And lots of times when we take calls from people that say schools are important, one of the conversations turned around Wellington. The number 1 place that we take calls from is Palm Beach Gardens. There's a lot when it comes to Palm Beach Gardens. One of the reasons is because Palm Beach Gardens is the home of one of the largest master plan communities. It's called Avenir. We do a ton of business in Avenir, and here's what I want to take a moment to tell you a little bit about. What you need to do when it comes to new construction. As I mentioned earlier, do not go into a sales center on your own. You really should have a realtor representation. We help provide people like yourself with independent representation. We are not employees of the builder. And if there's a better community for you, we will tell you. If there's existing inventory in that community, we will tell you. The builder pays us. You don't have to pay us. The builder pays us, and they're happy to do so because they want us to introduce people, perhaps like you, to their beautiful communities. We don't just make the introduction. We actually are there for throughout the whole process. We're there on your first visit, and that's the important thing. We have to be there on your first visit, otherwise they won't allow us to represent you. I get calls all the time from people afterwards. Ray, we were just at Westlake, and I want to work with you now, and it's too late at that point. We have to be there on the first visit. We're there for the introduction. We're there throughout the process. We have a transaction coordinating team that's really strong, that'll help keep the builders accountable, and we'll be there through the closing. So let me show you what I mean by Avenir, one of our biggest communities that we do business in. And I'll tell you why. There's a lot to do in Palm Beach Gardens. Palm Beach Gardens has one of the nicest malls in all of Florida. It's called the Gardens Mall. Now, that's arguable whether it is the nicest in Florida. Definitely, in my opinion, the nicest in our area. There's the Aventura Mall, there's the Boca Raton Center, but I think the stores that are in this place are bigger, are better, high-end stuff. You don't get like cheap stores in this place. And right next to it is downtown at the Gardens. So there's a lot to do in this area. And these are all high-end communities. Juno Beach, I got to talk about the beaches. Juno Beach is one of the nicest beaches in the world. Jupiter Beach is right up here. That's Jupiter Beach is right there. That's where the inlet comes in. So there's when you live in Gardens, Palm Beach Gardens, there is a lot of things, a lot of beaches that you have access to. You're not on the beach, but you're close enough. This is like a 15-minute ride here. So anyways, Avenir, if you take North Lake all the way down, this is the hottest area in Palm Beach and in South Florida right now. We are focusing a lot of our attention to it because our clients are focusing a lot of attention on it. They are building Panther National, which is a Jack Nicklaus signature course. I've dropped some B-roll in some previous videos. See if I could drop some today in this one. We went to when they were breaking ground, and we had we were invited. I was invited to an exclusive event as they were introducing the community. There's going to be like 250, 200 somewhat homes around here living on the golf course. It's a membership community, which sometimes a turn off, but people are buying in there. The prices in that area are $5 to $20 million. It's crazy. So I tell people, if you want neighbors that are $5 million to $15 million to $20 million. And I can help you with these houses too. But, and you don't have that kind of budget, which most people don't. There are alternatives. Let me see if I can find Avenir Drive here. So here we go. Here we travel down North Lake, and now we're going to we're heading out to Avenir. So Panther National is a Jack Nicklaus signature course. I was invited by the builders when they would first introduce the community, and it was in very rough shape, and it was like just building out. It's beautiful. There's like 200 homes there. They're going to be anywhere from $5 to $20 million. So it's a membership community, which is not always appealing to a lot of people, but they're selling. People, it is the value that people are seeing. People are buying there. But we are doing more business too. I mean, I'd love to help you in that area. Don't get me wrong, but we are seeing a lot more business in these other areas around Avenir. Because let's face it, it's really important to know who is around you in terms of your market value. It is really important if you want your home market value to hold high, it's important to know where you live and who your neighbors are. So here is the entrance. Whoops, where are you? Here's your entrance to Avenir. It is it's like Gothic. Like, look at that. I mean, look at that beautiful. Anyone, I've made a joke in the past, even us peasants can go through there. Anyone can go through there. This is like the entrance, the public entrance. Back in here is Coral Isles. Coral Isles is one of the nicest communities in Avenir. $2 to $3 million. It's more expensive than the other developments, which I'll go into. But in any event, it's really nice, and I think it's worth it. We've done business in there, and the people there. The Kenko is a high-end builder. People know and love Kenko. They do. It's a custom home. It's not a production builder. So this area just sold out. Watermark just sold out. This is Toll Brothers. They just literally sold out. They were the first builders in there. They also did some business. They did a community out here called Wingate, which is down to about 3 houses right now, maybe a little bit more, maybe 5. We've done a lot of business right in here. Lauderdale, Hovanian. There's a couple left there. Reach out to our team if you want to try and get there. And as always, there's resales in these places. So reach out to our team. By the way, if you want access to a new construction website for our area, email me. I would love to send you the link. You can just go to it. Don't even have to talk to me. Just link, poke around, see what's around. And just see what's available in terms of new construction. It's new construction only with that website. Okay, and then the other thing I want to say, we're doing a lot of business up here now. Regency is the Toll Brothers 55 plus community. If you're looking at 55 plus, that is one of the top ones. One of the top communities, 55 plus. This one is coming out. This is going to come out in a couple of months. Solana Bay, it's Akil Homes, great builder. I can't wait till it opens. It's going to be, we did a lot of business with them down in the Lake Worth area. They had a community called Villamar that they did well in, and we think they're really high. This is the area that I've been selling a lot lately. It's like their timing is perfect right now, and you can get in this community for like less than $1 million. The other communities like Watermark and Coral Isles and Lautier, you need more than $1 million. Here you can get in in the 800s. Did one in the 800s. You might even be able to get in there in the 700s. Depends on lots of things. One of the keys to living in these communities is, are you on water? This map is a little bit dated, so you don't see, this shows like there's nothing there. It is built out a lot more today than this shows, but there's still a fair amount of availability. So if you want to get, if you want to really choose your lots, this is a community that I would look at before the Solana Bay comes in. There is talk that GL Homes is in here. GL Homes is in here. I know that. Been speaking to them. So that they haven't released anything there yet. But that is, these are some of the areas that people are looking at. I want to also talk about a couple of others. Most relocation people we find are looking at these master plan communities. I just went through one of the nicest ones. I think Avenir is one of the nicest master plan communities in all of South Florida. Two of the other ones, Arden is another one, which is a little bit older and started a few years earlier, started like around 2018. If you're into like you want a resort style pool as your pool, Arden's for you. The amenities there are absolutely gorgeous. one of the best pools in Palm Beach, in my opinion. Fitness center, and the HOA is really low. And the reason is it's the community is so large, and they're spread the cost over the homeowners association fee over several homes. So the number one asked community when it comes to master plan communities in South Florida is Westlake. Westlake used to be Loxahatchee, and they ended up incorporating into their own city, and they call that city now today the city of Westlake, Florida's newest city. So here, back to the map. So we're going to leave our Avenir, and I want to show you where Westlake is right here. So these this is a hot area, and again, it's not really showing like a lot of built out stuff here. But Crestwind is like one of my favorite 55 plus communities. We do a lot of business in there, and it's got it offers a lot of value for the price. Coulter's the builder. Coulter does in the eastern part of Gardens. They do a community called Artistry and Alton, high-end, $2 million houses. You don't need to spend that money here, and it's the same builder. So there's great value there. Minto controls this area. Minto, the builder, bought the whole area. They sold a little piece of this place called Sky Cove in here. I can't see it at the top of my head, but it's in here. Sky Cove is sold out. Sky Cove just recently had their last model for sale. By the time this video is shown on our YouTube channel, it will be sold out. There is a lot of infrastructure coming in here. This church is up and running. All this is the commercial area down this way, and there's going to be they're going to have the town center here. They're gonna emulate this sort of like what they have out in downtown West Palm Beach, what they call City Place or the Square. That's what it's going to be here in the town center. They sold this piece of property here to the Wellington Regional Hospital, so they already have the emergency room up here, but the rest of the hospital is currently being built. So, and I mentioned Arden before. Arden is right here. It's right before the 20-mile bend on Southern Boulevard. They call it 98 here, but it's really called Southern Boulevard. It has, and I got to show you the pool. I talked about the pool. Let's go check out that pool. Here's the pool. Here's the pool on the map. So the other thing that they have is that they have this huge lake. So people who move to these other areas is, I want the lakes like they have in Arden. This is not common. Where you have this is a natural lake right here. And this is one of the biggest lakes you're going to find. The houses along here, this is the nicest street in Arden, price-wise. You need to spend a little bit more money if you want to be on the water. I like dealing with this builder, GL Homes. They have they are terrific in Arden. We've done business out there. Love their product. Really good. You probably need to spend a little bit more money for GL compared to Lennar. But in essence, those are the three master plan communities that we see people moving to here in the Palm Beach area. The other trend I have to mention is we see people moving who might not have that healthy budget, and they're moving up into Port St. Lucie. So as we zoom out and we go up to Port St. Lucie, it doesn't look like it's a lot, but it is. It's about, this to there is about an hour. There is a ton of new construction out this way. Where are you? Where's new? Palm City is one of the, Port St. Lucie. There's a lot of 55 plus activity out here. There's a new membership community called the Sorrow Club, which is amazing. That's Lennar, and that's a Toll Brothers community. They use the people in Port St. Lucie use the beach over at Jensen. There's another new construction community coming out there. Let me look at my calendar real quick. That's coming out. I'm going to do a video on that. I have a video planned for it. It's like basically just getting started. It's called Sable Point. That's in Jensen Beach. That's going to be really nice. But we see a lot of people that are moving from Palm Beach, Miami, Broward, and all that up to this area, because you can literally get the same house up here for $100,000 to $200,000 less. If you're okay with being, a little bit further away, this is an area I would definitely consider. One of the best 55 plus communities is in Port St. Lucie. It's called Riverland. We've done a lot of business there. It is GL Homes. Love it, love it, love it. The other good, great community up there is PGA Verano. I mean, you can get a brilliant home for in the 500s and be right off drive your golf cart to the golf course. I mean, there's no comparison. Lifestyle in Florida is very different. If you live in other parts of other parts of the country. I mean, you really owe it to yourself to check out the lifestyles here in Florida. It truly is amazing. For us, it changed our family. I've raised three children here, and I haven't, like I said before, I haven't looked back, and I would not consider anything other than Florida. So whether it's Miami, whether it's Fort Lauderdale, whether it's Palm Beach, whether it's Port St. Lucie, whether it's Florida at all, it's really up to you. The only way truly for you to find out is to have a visit. Reach out to our team, utilize the hot spots. We'll give you some guidance on your preliminary visit. If you just want to poke around and see what life is like, we can do that. If you want us to help register you at these builders, we will. But we got to say this too. We help register you. We will help you get the best consultant there. Don't go poking around their website and register, because then they'll assign you somebody, and you don't want that. So anyways, Florida is not for everyone. And the only way that you're going to know whether you're going to love Florida or hate Florida is to come and see for yourself. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, paradise here in South Florida.